Okay, got to be first time in history that there's 3 automotive companies in the business plan competition, but we are unique. Are we good to get started? Okay. We are Driveway Pit Stop. Oil changes anytime, anywhere. I'm Ben.
I'm Mason.
So I have an automotive background. For the last 10 years, I've been involved in automotive restoration, so working on cars, self-taught mechanic. I have a really good understanding of the automotive industry, and then I have experience consulting some small businesses here in Pullman as well.
So I've been changing my oil for the last 3 years, and I've been changing my own oil for the last 3 years, and it has given me the skills to definitely I'm so sorry. Okay, run. Sorry. Okay. Okay, it has given me the skills to change my own oil and definitely like make within the company. Experience. Okay, so I also have experience with consulting small businesses. This gives me the skills to kind of run the day-to-day operations. Yeah.
And one of our advisors is Paul Warner, who you all met at the beginning. He's the director for the Center of Entrepreneurship here at Washington State University. And he's no stranger to business. He's been involved in several startups and has founded specifically a couple different marketing analytic companies. So he's been really helpful in providing invaluable ideas in terms of marketing for us.
Okay, so for our next advisor, we have Chris Cooney. Cooney teaches here at WSU, and he teaches a marketing class that teaches technical expertise in app development and website design. He also has worked at Google for multiple years and has experience with marketing consulting.
We also have a financial advisor not listed. He works at Gary and Farwood downtown here, and he's helped us form our financial statements. So the problem, getting an oil change is fairly inconvenient a lot of the times. What should be a really simple task commonly turns into a schedule disrupting chore involving taking the time out of your day, driving to the mechanic, waiting for who knows how long, even if you have an appointment, and putting trust into strangers to work on your car. So we did some surveying in Western Washington and found out that 8 out of 10 people take their car in to either the dealership, a Jiffy Lube, or another mechanic to have them perform an oil change for them. However, 6 out of those 8 people say that the worst part is the inconvenience of driving to and waiting for the appointment. And these people that we surveyed, on average, wait 46 plus minutes at the mechanic for the oil change to be completed, even when they have an appointment. And so our goal is simply just to make this process easy and convenient.
Okay, so for our value proposition, our mobile oil changing service provides convenience to busy vehicle owners who want to keep their car well maintained without disrupting their schedule by eliminating the need for trips to the mechanic and long wait times, providing professional, hassle-free, and timely service directly to their location, unlike traditional mechanics shops that require appointments and extended wait times. All right, so for market opportunity, we are based in Bellevue, Washington, mainly because of the high average household income. And then these families are willing to pay a premium for the exchange of convenience. So to get started, we have our total addressable market. The automotive repair industry offers $95.5 billion. And then for our SAM, we have 83.2 million with an average household income in Bellevue, Washington of 224,000. And then for our SOM, we project that we will get 832K to 4.16 million based on market penetration.
So our competitive strategy is convenience. And we bring this convenience through, pictured here is our mobile lift trailer. And the judges, we have a little example up there for you to play around with. So This trailer will be towed behind our service truck, and our service truck and trailer will hold all the oil, all the filters, all the required tools. And when we arrive on location, we will grab the customer's car, drive it up on the trailer, and lift it up, which will enable us to change the oil quicker, cleaner, and more professional than other mobile mechanics. And so one of our direct competitors is Wrench Mobile Mechanics. And we get everything done in one trip. It takes half an hour for us to change your oil, and then we're out of your way. Wrench, on the other hand, they have an initial consultation visit to diagnose what they need to do to your car, and then a secondary appointment that later that week once they order the parts to actually put them on your car. And then just the general untrustworthiness and unprofessionalism that comes with them. They contract their mechanics, and so it's sort of like Uber or DoorDash. You don't know who your mechanic's going to be. You don't know if they're going to pull up in their minivan or roll around in your driveway and leave tools. And our indirect competitor is Jiffy Lube. Most people have gone to a Jiffy Lube before. And again, you're just facing a lot of uncertainty. You don't know how long you're going to have to wait. You don't know who's going to be working on your car, one of your most valuable possessions. And then just the fact of the wait time as well. And so with us, Driveway Pit Stop, we offer, just like Jiffy Lube, we mainly do oil changes, but while we're there, we can do a couple other things as well. Our service will always include a complimentary tire pressure check. So if your tires are low, we will pump those up for you to keep you safe. And then we also have an engine diagnostic and a tire rotation as optional services while your car's up there on the lift. Environmentally friendly is a big part of this. Our trailer uses a built-in oil capture system, and so that will ensure that no oil gets down on your driveway or into drains, and we will take that back and recycle it. We also offer a contactless option, so we have the key lockbox pictured up there, and so we will provide that to customers where they can put their keys inside the lockbox, and we will take out their keys once we arrive at the location, do what we need to do, and then get out of their hair. We also have really trustworthy mechanics. Unlike when you go to a Jiffy Lube or hire someone else, you're unsure who you're going to get. With us, we prioritize sending you the same mechanic every time so that you have the opportunity to build that relationship and gain that trust in who's working on your car. We also will have a little Meet Your Mechanic segment on our social medias so you can look at our mechanics and find out who they are. Looking ahead, we definitely are going to want to expand with an additional truck and trailer to more service in depth the Bellevue area or an additional area, as well as a storage facility to house the trucks, trailers, and inventory. But mainly, we want to take this business to business. And there's a couple of different ways that this would look. One way is fleet servicing, which would be performing oil changes on, like the USPS mail carriers, or like autonomous taxis. Those are gaining a lot of popularity to service their fleets, and also pop-up shops. So forming partnerships with HOAs, daycares, gyms, other places of business to come set up our trailer for the day and perform oil changes all day long at a discount. And in the beginning, we're using Square as our kind of booking and POS to cut back on costs. But House Call Pro is tailored towards home service businesses like plumbing and contractors. And so we want to eventually start using them, and they'll offer GPS on all of our trucks for the customers to see.
All right, so for go-to-market, we are starting off with our brand recognition. As you can see, we have the company QR code and phone number, and the logo will be displayed on all our trucks and trailers. And then we'll also be conducting door-to-door sales tactics to settle, kind of our presence in the surrounding area. And then for social media, we will be doing targeted local social media advertisements. And then we will also have our own company social media page. If you will look at the visual in the middle, this is a popular TikTok page called SB Mowing. It's a company that goes door-to-door sales for their mowing service. They just kind of film mainly time-lapse videos of the process. and then also customer interactions afterwards. And then last but not least, we have the refer a friend and our discount for the Google reviews. Both are discounts. Doing these discounts will help us build credibility with, the loyal customer base from just friends saying how good we are. And then the Google reviews for people who are just finding out about us. All right. And then for traction, we have mobile lift concepts for our trailer supplier down in Corona, California. And then for the next, we have our wholesale oil supplier, Nelson Reisner. They're based out of Arlington, Washington, so it's pretty close. And then for customer surveys, we've already conducted 50 plus or above 50 surveys within Seattle and Bellevue area. And then last but not least, we have also launched our own company website.
Okay, Driveway Pit Stop's revenue model. So the base service is just fresh oil and an oil filter. You always get synthetic oil, and this will run you $120. If you go to Jiffy Lube today, they'll charge you $110 for that same service. So that's pretty comparable. For us, that costs us $33.42. So you can see the profit margins on that one. Additional services, like I mentioned, that'll be $10 for the tire rotation and engine diagnostic while we're there. And in the future, we're going to want to add additional services, if there's customer interest for that. And that could be air filter changes, as well as other fluid changes like transmission fluid, diff fluid, brake fluid. Along with the base cost, there'll be a $1.50 per mile delivery charge. And this will help us cover, the time spent in between appointments. And if we face things like traffic and also gas costs. And Mason talked about the discounts, but there will also never be a delivery charge if we ever are late to the appointment. These are our financial projections. In year one here, we're estimating about $78,000 in revenue. And this comes from a pretty conservative estimate of 560 individual customers in that first year. We'll be starting at around 20 to 30 per month, and then ramping our way up to about 50 to 60 per month in the second half of the year. We got about a 50% customer retention rate estimation, and that'll be every 6 to 8 months. Customers will be coming back.
Okay, last but not least, we have funding. So our initial investment will be $140,000. So starting with this, we're getting $85,000 from a bank loan for the truck and trailer. The trailer being a little bit under $60,000, and then the truck, we already found a truck. It's listed as $20,000, and then we will save $5,000 for car insurances, and then personal savings will also come from me and Ben both. We both are providing $20,000, so $40,000 in total. And then we are going to be bootstrapping by working out of my house in Bellevue for the first year going forward, until we have raised enough margins to actually afford a place. And then the next is family contributions. Each of our families are gifting us $10,000 each, so totaling to $20,000. And then we will be looking to scale with an investor depending on our margins again after last year or after the year.
So yeah, thank you. And then this QR code takes us to our website that we have. So we'd love you to go ahead and take a look at that if you have time.
And so on your price point, what is your profit margin on a single oil change?
Yeah, so that'll pretty much be, I think, about like 50% after everything comes into play, because it'll be pretty much just the cost of the oil and the filter, and then the gas in between the appointments, which I think we just average that out at about like 8 miles to the gallon with the truck, towing the heavy trailer. And then with the additional services, we really want to try and push those, quick services. $10 is relatively cheap for like a tire rotation, but that's something that we could do super quick while we're there with it up on the lift while just the oil's draining. Because while the oil is draining, that'll just kind of be lost time. So if we want, we can point that out like, hey, I see you got some uneven wear there. we can fix that for you and rotate your tires. But it is mainly just going to be the oil change.
Okay. And what kind of insurance and like certifications and things like that are required for something?
Yeah, so actually there's not much required. The weight of the truck and the weight of the trailer is not classified above like a CDL, so you don't need that. For a valet license, that's just having like a clean driving record. So that could come into play, just hopping in the customer's car and driving it up there. And then there is some HOAs have rules like, oh, no working on your car on the side of the street. But that's not necessarily a law. A lot of places do, let you even like take up a side, like a parking space on the road to perform the like mechanical work. But that's the good thing about having the trailer and access to the customer's car is that, okay, if they have too small of a driveway or if they're in a parking garage, we can just park the truck on the street in a safe place and drive the car to that. So,
what about insurance though, for like you crashing the car while you're getting it onto the trailer, or somebody backs into the car while you're trying to get it on the trailer or something?
We have in our financials, we have accounted for buying insurance, and that it was a lot of money because there is guaranteed a lot of liability for having that up there. But that will hopefully come down because, after it's just once we hire mechanics, they'll be ASE certified and CDL certified. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you.
So a little bit staying on the financials of this. So let's talk about the trailer for a second. You're talking about one to start, an $85,000 loan that's collateralized against something. I'm not sure what. And people, right? And when I looked at the P&L, you had the revenue, but you had expenses year one of $45.5K. So I'm not sure how your P&L is working to the capital expense of the trailer and then all the stuff that we were just talking about on insurance, and then mechanics against the 45.5 on expenses. So I'm not, the numbers aren't working for me.
Throughout the first year, we aren't going to be hiring mechanics because we don't need those.
You guys are the mechanics.
Yeah, because we don't need the CDL qualifications and the ASE mechanic qualifications. It looks good, but in the beginning, it's going to be a lot of, family trust and coming from those Google reviews and being that personable, friendly, trustworthy guy.
Yeah. But ultimately, there's a lot of upfront expense on this. I mean, there's equipment, right?
Right.
And there's diagnostic equipment. There's stuff. Right?
Yeah. We took that into the account, and I actually think it might be a little bit like less than you think. We're gonna be ordering kind of the oil as we go, as we use it, and we're gonna be ordering it in 55-gallon drums that will last a long time. We don't really need that many tools just to change oil and to change the rotate the tires. The trailer comes in with a built-in air compressor and lots of other stuff.
No, this trailer sounds cool. I'm just trying to figure out how you're going to buy it. And the only other comment is on the mechanics. I love the idea that we'll always have the same mechanic coming to you and blah, blah, blah. All that's great. These aren't high-paying jobs. So, I'm just wondering how you're going to be able to make that commitment when I think at a service level, you're going to see rotation on these guys that are driving the trucks. But since you guys are going to do it starting out, you'll probably figure that out. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
I got a lot of questions around total addressable market, especially knowing where you're starting, right? Some I would say yellow to red flags I see is that Bellevue is a high cost of living area. A lot of as you saw, high paying jobs, right? A lot of these individuals drive electric cars. A lot of these individuals drive higher end cars, right? Not all oil changes are created equally. I think I would love to see in this presentation, what does this look like in terms of make that you're servicing, right? Changing oil on a Toyota is different than changing the oil on a Range Rover. Obviously similar concept, but the time involved in changing the oil on a Range Rover looks a lot different than changing the oil on a Honda Civic. So I don't know if you've included that in your costs or if there's a tiered approach to the the make of the car?
Yeah, so we're doing only synthetic oil because that's, pretty non-arguably better than conventional. And most cars are using that. We have 4 different base oil weights that we're going to be using that will fit pretty much every single car. And the thing about it is, with those luxury cars, people are buying those luxury cars to have that image. And I think part of us is that image of, your neighbor, oh, what is he doing across the street? He's got a fancy truck lifting up, his car, working on that. And with, if you have a Land Rover or a Jag, you're taking it into the dealership, paying $400 for them to have it for the whole day. That's pretty much how they do it. And so I think that the people that drive those cars would be willing to use this and pay for, a step up from Jiffy Lube down the street without, everything that comes into taking it to the dealership and them trying to upsell you. And with electric cars are something that we've thought about, but hydrogen-powered cars are gaining popularity. Toyota has a hydrogen-powered car. Porsche is doing lots of research into hydrogen power, and I think that will be the future of automobiles. And those still have, conventional engines that need oil changes, and so that's how I foresee us being able to progress into the future.
The other thing I would love a POV on is, I work with a lot of these individuals that you're talking about, and these individuals rotate cars once they hit certain mileage, right? Talk it between 60 and 80,000 miles. A lot of these dealerships, especially for these higher end cars that you see in Bellevue, cover the oil changes up until that point. And by that time, they're on the new car with a new service package that's included with the purchase of a brand new car. So I'd love to understand if you're going after these individuals as well, or more so maybe individuals that have older models of cars. How are you thinking about that?
Yeah, pretty much just a wide range. I know that's something that a lot of people will have under warranty, but it's only a certain amount. You can get 1 or 2. And especially if these people are commuting to work, that's another reason why people buy BMWs, is so that when they drive for 2 hours down the highway, it's comfortable. But with all that driving comes a lot of wear and tear. And instead of every 8 months needing an oil change, they're going to be needing an oil change every 2 months per, the guidelines for a brand new car that you're trying to follow. Mm-hmm. And so your dealership might only offer 3 of those, and you'll run out of those pretty quick. But yeah, that's, that is something that most average people, keep a car for longer than that year. So I think at the very top 1%, of people there that we'll be missing out on. But I think those people are the people that don't even own a car and have a chauffeur. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's how I would address that.
Great job, guys. This is a cool idea. I really like how you're approaching it and all the thought you put into your marketing and getting referrals and reviews and all that. I think there's a lot of cool stuff, and the trailer seems pretty cool. Similar to what Diane was talking about, I would have liked to see more of a unit economic breakdown. Your per oil change. I know you had your $33 in there, but it sounds like that was mostly just materials, right? The oil itself. So you need to be looking at what do you estimate your average mileage to be to the customer, so you can estimate your cost on gas. How long are you going to have your technicians being paid for, right? You're going to have that labor. I know you said you guys are going to be covering it for the first little bit, but okay. Well, good job.
Thank you. Thank you.